Bitcoin came into our crucial level here and deeper into our BOC. Let's dive in and take a look at it. In the last video, we were talking about my two counts that I've been keeping an eye on here. One is that we have a impulsive move down here, correction, and then we are in the wave 3 of the 3 right now, coming into a most likely target for a wave 4 at this secondary degree here with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm looking for a 5 wave down. Most likely target for a wave 4 in here. We have this level here, which has played as support and resistance in the past. And we came in here and we're starting to give a little bit of a rejection here. We do typically want to see a 3A2 retracement for the wave 4. We are in a wave 3 though, so that means things could be accelerated and we don't even make it up to the 3A2. We have reached another target area, which is the 236 right here in our little BOC box, our box of confluence. So we are hitting some most likely targets as far as that go, not the ideal target here. We also have some lower targets here, lesser degree or the sub degree wave 4 that plays as resistance as well when we're looking for a wave 4. We'll dive into that when we go deeper into the time frames. But right now, just from this look here, everything's on schedule. We haven't broken above it impulsively yet. We've come into here in a corrective fashion, and we've shown a little bit of a rejection here at the level that we identified last time. So this is all I really want to talk about here on the daily. I think everything's still lining up that the most likely idea here is that we're going to get a switch back down to lower lows here before we get either a completion or we're going to get a lower low in the form of a wave 4 here at the larger degree to offset this wave 2. Right now we're still looking for a correction in the wave 4 that offsets this wave 2. There's several ways we can do that. I went over most of them in the last video. Alternation, the guideline of alternation. If this is a sharp correction, we're looking for a sideways correction down in the wave 4. We can use our channels here, which has reacted as well. And then, of course, we can use the fibs and everything else to look for the wave 4, the most likely target being the 382. The other thing I didn't really talk about was the time. In the markets, we really want to look for proportion in the waves, in the actionary and reactionary waves. So when I'm looking for a wave 4 offset to a wave 2, I'm looking for it using the fibs as far as distance traveled. That's why these fibs are here. We can use the geometry that's provided in Elliott Wave via the base channel and the temporary channel. Base channel being one of my favorite tools. And they're also looking for time and the right look guideline. I typically don't like to see wave 4s that are smaller than the wave 2 in time. Just one of my more hardcore guidelines that I follow. So when I'm looking for a wave 4 offset the wave 2, I'm looking for at least a 1-to-1 in time as well. And that's gives us the right look and what we're looking for. So if we think that the wave 2 ends here, we go ahead and put this on here to the end of the wave 2, and we put this at the end of the wave 3. As you can see, we're pretty much short right here. Still have a couple more days that we can be putting in before we get the 1-to-1. Now, I did count this a couple different ways. I think the other pivot was right about here, and we had a truncation, so I'll move that over. And we have hit that right now. We've hit the 1-to-1, which is the minimum. I'd really like to see it push into here a little bit more. 1618 would be ideal as well. And then start adding on all these other levels. But basically, after the 1-to-1, I'm looking for where we are in the pattern of the wave 4 to see if we're coming close to an end there. But that's just another way for me to put a restriction on when I think a wave 4 is done and when I think it's still developing. That's a tool I use. I would recommend doing the same thing, but not 100%. I have missed moves because I counted the wave 2 and I was waiting for the wave 4 to develop more before I continued on. More times than not, though, with the right look, we're looking for the wave 2 to be shorter in time and the wave 4 to be longer in time. This is typically because the wave 4s are going to be more of a sideways correction and take up some more time, where the wave 2s typically are not a sideways correction. They're going to be a sharp correction. So they take a little bit less time and they go a little bit deeper typically. So that's all I'm looking at here on the daily. We still are looking pretty good as far as our time goes. I still suspect that we're going to be doing some kind of sideways move here, potentially over the next week or so before we get a better looking and better developed wave 4 before we end up cutting down here to the wave 5 closer to 75. And then from there, I'll be looking for a move up. An impulse done means the directional bias is up at various degrees. So that's what I'll be looking for if we do end up finishing here in a wave 5. doesn't matter. I'm looking for an impulsive move up after the 5 finishes. I'm looking for an impulsive move up and an internal correction to that area. So that's all I'm looking for here on the daily. Let's go ahead and dive in a little bit deeper now. So down here on the 1 hour, you can see a few things taking place here. You can see we rejected from this level here for now. We've tried a couple times, haven't been able to break above it and flip it into support. So we've been rejecting from there. We've been rejecting from this nice base channel here. When you're using a base channel, we're looking for these outer parallels and the inner parallels to play as resistance for the wave 4. So this is an added piece of confluence for when you're looking for a wave 4. Also, this is the sub wave 4 that we're looking for as well. So anywhere within this range is a good spot to potentially look for rejection, because wave 4 can act as resistance, either the orthodox end of it, depending on where that is, or the full retracement of it. Just like to mark off our full wave 4 here as another indication or area that we can look for a potential bit of resistance. This is a good area to look for a bit of resistance as well. So we have some things adding up for a wave 4 still. Pattern's a little bit ugly, and that's how wave 4s can be. We want to try and catch the end of a wave 4. Again, we use these as indications, but these are most likely targets. These aren't definite turning points. If we want to try and trade a wave 4, we're looking for the pattern to complete whatever we think that might be, a triangle or a flat of some kind, before we actually look for the wave 5 to play. A lot of people like playing wave 5s because you have such clarity here in the wave 3. Anything that follows this kind of move, you can suspect that after that, we're going to get a little bit of a sideways and then a move down to lower lows. So a lot of people like playing wave 5s. I play wave 5s depending on the pattern that plays, but wave 4s can be messy. So it's hard to catch the edge just by going off the first subwave. And I think that's where we are right now. I think we're only dealing with the first subway here at the lower degree. And I think there's still a little bit more time or a little bit more clarity that we need before jumping in here. You can always take little bites in this area, and if it works out, you got a nice little bite deeper into the range before we get the move down. And if you're okay with holding on to this trade for a while, if we do end up going sideways for a couple days or a week or whatever, this is a good spot, good risk reward. But that's going to have to be based off of your strat and your experience with wave 4s. I did end up getting a low, and I'm still in the trade here for the long, and I'm still waiting to watch how this develops. I think right now we can look at this a couple different ways, and I'll zoom in here. All right, I've gone ahead and labeled this lesser degree here. As you can see, I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've gone ahead and swept this 4, which closes out the idea that this could have been a 1, 2. And I think this is getting a little bit long in the tooth here to be any part of this lesser degree area over here. So I think we're dealing with a higher degree corrective move here, possibly. This could be some kind of motive wave or diagonal, but the proportions don't add up quite yet. We would need a little bit more higher highs and higher lows to kind of be sure of what was going on. Ideally, I think what we're dealing with here is a subwave of the wave 4 at the larger degree. Now, we had some nice moves in here that would bounce off of the 618 or the 65, so we were able to capitalize off of that. We do have what looks to be a nice ABC zigzag here, and it came kind of close to our area of interest. We did come into the 236, as I said before, but we didn't quite go deep enough. And that's a good reason of why we get these complex corrections. This zigzag wasn't deep enough for us to fully retrace what we did. So we either add on through time, or we can add on through depth with double zigzags, triple zigzags, complex, sharp corrections like that. So that is an option here. This zigzag wasn't deep enough, so we've added on to it here, and we're going to continue up deeper into our area of interest here and our most likely targets. One thing I want to show with this time indicator here is that this X wave was pretty short. Typically, X waves are going to come in to the 382 and the 50. They can come all the way down, and they like to come down to the extreme of the wave B. But the most likely targets are between 382 and 50, and we tagged the 382. One thing I don't like is the quickness of this. Again, we like to see proportion in the markets. So having this little guy be proportionate to this long move here isn't really the most ideal thing you want to see. What that means is that this could be developing further. We're not going to know until either one of these pivots breaks, but that could be something that's going on here, is that we have some kind of flat correction or double combo or something coming in here that's going to take a little bit more time. So we reach this 1-to-1 here of this move up here, and maybe possibly come deeper into an area of interest for an X wave of a double zigzag before we get the move up and out. So if we end up breaking here, that could be the end of this X wave. I don't like this countdown now. I still want to see how this develops. This could still be a couple things coming down, but we'll look at that. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper down, actually. I'm seeing if we come down into this area, how we come down. I'll be looking for a potential long here to catch that move if we are putting in some kind of double zigzag at the larger degree. When we put a channel on a double zigzag, if we have it now, if we are completed, I'm going to put this like this. When we're dealing with a double zigzag, it's basically just an extension of a regular zigzag. So we're looking for the same kind of ending points as we would in a regular zigzag, such as the 1-to-1 here. So if this was the X and we're going to head up, we're going to look for the 1-to-1 up here. There's another target is going to be the 618. So that's another possibility. We come up here, we tag this 382 up here. The 1-to-1 kind of puts us over the edge of the 382, puts us up, could sweep this level, but it puts us kind of in a good spot as well. So that is a possibility if we are putting in a double zigzag and we hold this low here at 85. From here, we're going to move up and potentially hit up to 90, 92 area. That's if this was the X wave and we're putting in a double zigzag. If we come further down, again, we'll have to remeasure, but we are still looking for the 1-to-1, which at that point, if we do come down here, would be a little bit lower and would actually put us a little bit closer to the 382. So that's something to keep an eye on. Just as long as this level holds at 85 and moves up and breaks this level up here, that could be it as far as a double zigzag, and then we'd be looking for a move down. So as an alt, if this whole move is done and I've missed out and this is the end of the move of the corrected move, and we're going to reject from our level of interest that we've been keeping an eye on, I'm watching this level still, 85, 214. As you can see here, I played as support in the past, resistance, support, support. So if we come back to this level and break it, I'm going to be watching it to turn back into resistance again before we get to move down. Same thing with this next level and then the other levels as we move down. So that's the backup plan. So next up, I want to dive into the 15 minutes and take a look at that real quick, and then we'll pull back out and tie all this stuff together. All right, down here at the degen level of 5 minutes, a few things I want to highlight is that we could still be in the progress of the wave X like I was talking about. This looks like a corrective move here, and then we have what looks more like a corrective move up here with a sharp zigzag with an extended C wave. Beyond that, I just wanted to highlight the entry model again, the C3 entry model. If you haven't heard about it, go check it out. It's on all my socials. I just posted it on YouTube, so definitely go grab it. But basically, we come down in a wave 4, move up in an impulse, breaks this level, and then we come back and break the orthodox end of the wave 4. And at that point, we're getting a trigger to let us know that we should start looking for an internal correction to play out. Now, I highlighted this in the Discord last night. Said we got a nice impulse to move down, keeping an eye out for the retrace, came right into the ideal area and rejected from that area to lower lows. Now, also within this lower low, we have some nice proportion between the wave 1 here, or the wave A here, and the wave C. As you can see, we use our base channel here, our corrective channel. We've hit that to the tick, and we've also hit 1-to-1 to the tick. I think I posted that I thought we were going to head on up because we did hold the algo entry zone as well. Fortunately, we have to watch how our reactions play out here too. Just because we get a reaction out of an area of interest here, which I had marked, we have 3 pieces of confluence right here. We have the channel, we have the 1-to-1, the 8 for the A to the C, and we have an algo area here from the low down here up to the high up here. Even with all that confluence, there's no guarantee, especially since BTC is a correlated asset, in my opinion, with ES and all that other stuff. Just because we have come out of an area of interest, we have to watch how that comes out. If we think it's an impulsive move or a motive move, then we try and play that retracement if we want to. Otherwise, if it comes out all corrective and looks like shit coming out, there's a possibility that it could just roll over. Then our area of interest would become defunct, and we try next time. No big deal. So that's kind of what happened here. This played out picture perfect, but even with the picture perfect setup, as you can see, we rolled over for a lower low. Now, there's a possibility that, again, this is some expanding flat or something here to draw out time for the wave X. If that plays right now, if this is a zigzag complete, we could be putting in some more lower lows here and do potential ending diagonal. We got to see zigzags coming down in every actionary wave and reactionary wave. If we end up breaking up here, I guess we would have to say that, okay, this is A, B, C. This is it. This was the impulse. This was the zigzag complete, correction complete down here. And then we're getting to move up. So these two levels I'm watching, looks like we have a nice impulsive move down here. So this could be another retrace before a move down. But I think it's still wait and see in this area. 85 is really my level. I don't have a trade plan set up as of yet for a long from here. I'm still long from further down at 81. So from here, I'm looking for at least this to break to give me some confidence that we're not going to keep putting in lower highs and lower lows. Because right now, that's all we have. We have a lower low here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're still questioning what's going on in here. So no trade zone for me at this point. But I think we have to wait and see how the rest of the market's going to play out before we know exactly what's going on here. All right, that's enough at the 5 minutes here. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit more. All right, zoomed back out here again. So how am I looking at this and what am I looking to play? I think is the next thing we need to talk about. Right now, we're in a box of confluence. So anything in here, you could take a stab at it. You could go for it. And hopefully it pans out and it moves down. We really don't have a pattern that looks complete right now. So there's a couple possibilities of what still might happen. Ideally for me, I want to see a little bit of a deeper move into this box of confluence. So we can pop up and finish a recognizable pattern vis-a-vis a WXY or double zigzag. I think that's a good time to start looking for a short. You can look either on the conservative side or on the aggressive side, depending on what you would like to do. I think conservative side would be waiting for the pattern to finish and then a breakdown in an impulsive manner and then correction back to this level. I think this is the conservative play, whereas the aggressive play is going to be up here. We have the 3A2 and most likely target for a wave 4. We do have this interior parallel that could play a support. So somewhere in this area I think is good. We have the top of the wave 4 of the lesser degree. So I think this is the ideal area to look for a possible aggressive short. If we don't make it up there and we start breaking down, 85 is my level. I think this could be the subwave of a larger pattern, a larger sideways pattern. We already came into contact with the down trend line or that outer parallel of the base channel anchored to this as the wave started the wave 2 up here. So this could be it. Again, if we start breaking down these levels here, I'm going to be watching for an impulsive move and then an internal correction to that level to an area of interest and then a move down, either for a potential C wave or if that's it and that's all that needed and we start heading down, I'm in and I'm taking the ride. So those are the two factors. I still think we have a possibility of a move up or some more sideways before we get the final move down to 75. That all falls apart when we start breaking above this in an impulsive manner. So right now, this isn't 2, 1, 2. When we blast up for a wave 3, that's going to be huge, and that's going to kill a lot of this more bearish talk with this structure here. So breaking up above these, final level being up at 99 is where bulls really have to get to crush this whole idea of more impulsive moves down. But breaking these levels here is a good start. The super conservative would be wait for this to develop more, see if we get some kind of recognizable pattern. Fun thing, and when I say fun, the scary thing about wave 4s is that they can sweep both the highs and the lows in the form of a flat, as we've seen. These are all running flats, but typically the most common flat is going to be the expanded flat, where you sweep both sides, and then you get the move down to continue the trend lower. That's what I'm looking for now on Bitcoin. If you like what you saw and you want to learn more, I would definitely recommend coming over to Trade Devils University, where you can take advantage of the 50% off sale going on here. You do get to try a course for free, see if you like the content, see if you like the delivery. If you do, you can always sign up for the later belts and learn some more about technical analysis, Elliott Wave, algos, geometry, a little bit of SMC. So if you have some time and some extra cash and you want to learn more about technical analysis, I definitely recommend coming over to the site and checking it out. That's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Trade safe, trade clarity. Take it easy. Later.